Hello everyone, and today I just wanted to have kind of a calm sit-down sketching session. So I've been a little burnt out lately and haven't had a whole lot of time for art, and it's been really gloomy outside, so I thought I would take my iPad, make a little Pinterest board for some inspiration, and create a little bit of a mood board. Now, this did take me longer than it should have. It took me about a week to complete this, and everything is pretty simple, but I also have had to wear a wrist brace. So unfortunately, I've just been dealing with a lot of wrist and arm pain, and so I really did need to take it easy this week. But with that being said, let's jump into the actual art process. So real quick before I jump into the actual painting process, I want to show you my Pinterest board. It's nothing super extensive, and half of it ended up being fashion inspiration that I ended up not using for the sketch pieces, but it was fun to put together, and I think I really need to start doing this more for brainstorming purposes and other painting tasks. So in the name of trying to make this Procreate time-lapse a little more interesting, I'm gonna sit here and kind of chat through it. So next time I would like to actually screen record, but I didn't really think far enough ahead for that, unfortunately. But I started off with this little landscape piece, and this one ended up being my favorite one, as well as the one I had the most fun with. I don't often draw environments, and I'm still kind of learning how I want to stylize them. So creating this was actually really helpful. I'm realizing that I like some of those more geometric shapes and slightly sharper shading. I don't know, I'm still figuring it out, but this definitely was one of my favorite ones. And interestingly enough, the line work really tied it together. I didn't know if I would like it, but especially the kind of lighter line work by the tree really helped bring out some of the details. Now, the next one was actually probably my least favorite, and weirdly the one I struggled the most with. I'm not sure why, but the shape of a mug just really challenged my brain. Not entirely sure why, but I changed up the shape a lot of times, and now that I'm looking back, I actually think it looked better earlier on. Not sure why I felt the need to change it, but I also want to take pressure off myself when I'm creating more low-key artwork like this. I don't want to be so perfectionist for something that's literally just supposed to be essentially a digital sketchbook page, but I find, especially with digital art, that's hard to do because it's so easy to change things. While that is great and super helpful, it also leads to me getting very distracted and obsessive when I'm painting, and so that was kind of a good reminder for me. Now, I still love making digital art, but I really want to find a way to enjoy it more casually and not always get so caught up in the little details. Doesn't help that I can zoom in super close and see everything. I feel like it leads to a lot of overthinking. So that is just a little food for thought, at least for myself. Now, I was most nervous for the portrait. I guess it's not really a portrait, but the figure in this piece. Just a girl kind of sitting with a book or a notebook of some kind, kind of snuggled up. My inspiration for this was, this is what I want my life to look like. And weirdly enough, this one actually went a lot quicker than I thought, but a lot of it is because I did not get caught up in the details. I decided I was gonna keep it simple, not do a ton of shading, not overly fixate on the anatomy, and just let it be a sketch. And I felt like for some reason, maybe it was because my hand was really starting to hurt at this point, I was able to do that a lot easier with her. And I really like how she turned out. Like, it very much still looks like my style, but just a little more simplified than if I had sat down and really fleshed it out. And then last, I kind of did some doodles and added some little socks. At this point, I was getting pretty tired and kind of ready to be done with this sketch page. I think this happens to me a lot, where I'm at this point just trying to fill the space, but I had some fun messing around with some different brushes and textures, and overall I really like how it turned out, and altogether I really do like how all the sketches go together. It's not perfect composition, but the colors mesh really well. I tried to use kind of a consistent color palette, and this is how it all looks finished. So altogether, thanks for sitting with me through that. I know this was maybe a little different, but I really want to try new things and figure out how I want to go about content creation on YouTube, how to make this platform sustainable for me. So you might see a little experimentation. And while my channel is small, I think that that's something kind of fun to explore. If you would like to find me in other places, you can follow me on Instagram at Emily Wiesman. And hopefully I will see you here again next week. See ya!